And now shifting our focus to a big development coming in where the Supreme Court has flagged grave concern over NCERT Class 8 content on judicial corruption. CJI Surya Kant has said that he has taken cognizance and may initiate Suo Motu action. He said, and I quote, that I will not allow anybody to defame the institution. Law will take its course. Major development coming in after the NCERT Class 8 Social Science textbook introduced a chapter introducing corruption in judiciary. The Supreme Court has now taken cognizance with CJI Surya Kant, saying that I will not allow anybody to defame the institution, and he said that law will take its course. I am being joined by News9 input editor Brijesh Pandey for more on this. Brijesh, major development now the Supreme Court has stepped into the NCERT introducing Class 8 book introducing judiciary, corruption in judiciary, and now the Supreme Court is saying that it will take a suo motu cognizance of the case.
Well, absolutely. I think it's a big development as far as the NCERT Class 8 textbook is concerned. Yesterday, the excerpts of the book was published in a national newspaper, and post that there was a lot of back and forth on the controversial content which spoke about corruption in judiciary and also about the backlog of cases. Now, if I go to the kind of observation which the Chief Justice of India, Surya Kant, has said, one of the key observation which has said that he has taken cognizance and he may initiate suo motu action. And other than that, Kapil Sibal, who was appearing for the Bar Association, he also said that this seems to be a calculated move. The Chief Justice also said that, please wait for a few days. Bar and bench all are perturbed. All High Court judges are perturbed, and he's going to take action. I will not allow somebody to defame the majesty of the law.
Right.
And he has also said, that the senior advocate Abhishek Manu Singhvi pointed about the selectiveness of this particular jibe about corruption in judiciary. He went on to say that there's corruption in many other fields and areas, but how specifically judiciary was targeted, the corruption in judiciary was specifically targeted, to which the Chief Justice concurred with his observation. He said that, I will not allow anybody to defame it, and also that he's going to take action on this. So this particular NCERT textbook, which is there for the Class 8 students, it has run in rough weather as far as the Chief Justice of India and other, the Supreme Court bar associations and other bar associations are concerned. Nancy?
Well, Brijesh, the context, as you said, that some excerpts from the chapter were published in the book, and there were some major changes in that chapter. It has introduced corruption in judiciary at various levels. It also talks about massive backlogs of cases and the pending cases, and it also lists out the reason why these cases are pending. So, introducing this new chapter and corruption in judiciary, and now it has literally raised eyebrows, and now the Supreme Court is on alert over these changes.
Well, I think, Supreme Court is outraged, and not only Supreme Court, but, most of the high courts have also voiced in their concerns, and all the bar association, right from the Supreme Court Bar Association downwards, they have all have expressed their anger and outrage at this selective coating of corruption in judiciary. The judiciary faces a lot of, there's a lot of a backlog of cases, and that is there. But, judiciary per se is not only responsible for the kind of backlog that is there. Every single case has to pass through various stages, and there's less number of judges, and there are various other factors which are responsible for it. But to selectively quote and selectively talk about corruption in judiciary is something to which the Chief Justice has taken great umbrage at, and then he has also went on to say that it looks like that somebody is trying to defame the majesty of the law, and he will not allow anybody to do it. And I think by the end of the day or by tomorrow we will see some sort of suo motu action, as was suggested by the Chief Justice of India in vis-a-vis this particular observation, which is there in the NCERT textbook for Class 8 student.
Well, Brijesh, there was another aspect of the book that raised question, was the mention that Parliament can move a motion and impeach a judge and can take action against it, although it also said that the judge has will be given a fair chance to prove its point as well. But to mention all this and to teach this concept to Class 8 students is not going well with the Supreme Court.
Well, it is not. And, the court is saying that, all the process of impeachment of judges and other paraphernalia, other strictures and options which are available there is well known. There is no need for it to be presented in a way where, you are starting with the assumption that there is corruption in the judiciary and the kind of action that can be taken against a corrupt judge, or, the kind of avenues he has before applying for hearing in the apex court. They say that the way the entire chapters have been structured and the way the entire, it has been presented in this particular textbook looks like that there is a selective targeting of corruption in judiciary, as was raised by senior advocate Abhishek Manu Singhvi, and the Chief Justice and other Justice Bakshi, who was there on the bench along with the Chief Justice. They kind of concurred with what the observation of Mr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi. And now not only that, Kapil Sibal also said that, that there is a the way it has been put in, it looks like, that there is a purpose, there is a nefarious design behind this, the way the entire chapters and all has been written. So I think, based on the observation, a very strong observation by the Chief Justice of India, we may see a redaction of this particular chapter. It will be very, very interesting to see, if the Chief Justice of India takes Suo Motu action and orders action against NCERT, or orders a redaction of this particular chapter as far as NCERT textbook is concerned.
That's right, Brijesh. The book also quotes former Chief Justice B.R. Gavai, where he has flagged some misconduct and instances of corruption within the judiciary. And now we have a sitting CJI, Surya Kant, coming out and saying that he will not allow anybody to defame the institution of judiciary, and he will let the law take its course.
Well, for a Chief Justice to talk about corruption in judiciary, it's a completely different matter. As a Chief Justice is like the topmost figure of judiciary in India. And fact of the matter is that he can point to the lacunas any particular institute is facing, especially the judiciary, because it is one of the most important cornerstone of Indian democracy. But for a class 8 students to read about corruption in judiciary, the kind of option which is there for the impeachment of judges, the structure of it is something which is irritating or irking the apex court judges. It looks like that, instead of talking about how the law is, how the legal procedure is, what are the options before people, and the backlog of cases, which is a genuine concern, and what steps can the government take to lessen the burden on the judiciary to ensure fast and effective delivery. If a textbook starts talking about corruption in judiciary and things like that, then what about corruption in politics? What about corruption in other forms of the of the governance? So this is what is making the Chief Justice sit up and take notice, and this is the reason why he said that he will not allow anyone to defame the majesty of the law.